Okay, it's another Monday night. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to get a print session in. It's been really quite busy. So this is the negative that we're going to print this evening. I still have not double checked to make sure it's in focus yet. Probably be a good idea to do that. This is a Fomapan 400, I believe, if I remember correctly. I souped it in X-Tol. Let me just check real quick here and make sure we're... Oh yeah, it's in focus. All right. Okay. So we're gonna do this print. We've got a pretty good amount of tones. This is my second to youngest child. Just looking at it, I would, this is, he's got black hair, so this is where we have the least amount of tones in terms of in his eyes, basically. But everything else looks like we should be okay. I'm gonna start with a grade 2 filter, and the negative is relatively dense, so we're gonna go ahead and put our nice grade 2 in. And actually, before I do that, we're gonna step down to F11 and just start at 15 seconds and see what that gives us. All right. Okay, so once again, we're Ilford multi-grade 8x10. It's their new purple label multi-grade 4 paper, or multi-grade 5 I should say, or multi-grade V, whatever you want to call it. RC paper. And it's not as bright in here. I accidentally broke one of my safe lights. So this is 15 seconds, and then we'll get it in the developer, stop and fix, and take a look at it. Okay, so I can tell you right now, 15 seconds is just about spot on. However, grade 2 is too much contrast. The reason why I say that is because when you look up here, you can see that the brightest area is actually coming off of paper white. I could probably reduce the time a little bit because we are seeing that quite a bit of density off of paper white, and this side of his eye is too bright. We haven't totally lost contrast here. I could probably drop this down to I can probably drop it down to 12 seconds. That's a third of a stop. And then if I need to dodge in this side of his face a little bit, this is, now that I'm looking at it, a little bit hot over here. Or I can just reduce the contrast a bit more. I'll have to think about it for a second while this washes and once I see it in a little bit brighter light. But yes, here we go. right out of the gate, we're pretty close. Okay. That is a grade 1 and 13 seconds. It lightened it up quite a bit, took a whole pile of contrast out. This actually looks a lot better. I could probably use just a smidgen more time because we're just barely, I mean, you can almost not even really see the border there, and over same thing over here. So yeah, I'm gonna need to add a little more time. 13 seconds. We probably could have kept it at 15 seconds. So I'm gonna go back to 15 seconds and see what that looks like. Push comes to shove, 14 seconds will probably be the center point, but I'll do 15 seconds with a grade 1 just to see, because I do want to have enough, at least enough. It's okay if it's bright like this where we have almost no detail. I mean, that's basically, you know, a ceiling being lit. So it's effectively a light source. So I'm fine with it being really bright, just as long as it's not completely paper white. As long as we have some kind of density there, it'll be okay. And this is a little bit brighter than I really was expecting it to be, so we could use a little bit more. I probably should have just went to grade 1 and left it at that. So anyway, that's where this one is at. So we'll just keep grade 1 and do 15 seconds, see what that looks like, and then if we need to, we'll go to grade 1 and 14 seconds. Yeah, that's a lot better. His shoulder is still a little hot, and this could come in a little bit more. We're at 15 seconds. This right here on his face is just about right. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm okay with this being a little hot over here. I mean, I could maybe try to burn it in just a smidge, but the reality of the matter is it's fine. You know, as long as it's not totally paper white. And once we get some dry down, it'll darken down a little bit. You can see a difference. So yeah, I'm good. It's good. I got one more negative. Actually, I have one more copy of this I need to make. Actually, I'll probably make 2 more copies, and then I've got another negative to print. Okay, here is the next negative. This one is an image of my daughter. It's a few years old. It's on the same roll, so it's Fomapan 400. I'm going to do 16 seconds F11, grade 1. I have no reason to believe that this would print any differently than the other one. Maybe end up at 12 or 13 seconds, but for now we'll just keep it the same as the last negative because I exposed all of these about the same. They were taken within you know, a couple of hours of each other, so there's should be very little difference in the light inside the house. So anyway, yep, so we'll see how this one goes. Okay, a little bit on the dark side, but not bad. You know, that is a black shirt. So this is a window with sunlight blasting through it, but it's got shades. So we could come up quite a bit on the exposure. So what I'm probably going to do is do one more print at 13 seconds. See what that looks like. Maybe go to 10 seconds, but 13 seconds will brighten it up quite a bit brighten everything up in general quite a bit. So yeah, let's do that. All right, that's a lot better. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on this particular negative simply because there's a little bit of motion blur. It's not a super sharp picture, but it was requested to be printed out. So I need to make a couple of copies of this. It's already going on midnight, so I've got to hurry up and get that done and get everything cleaned up. So for this image, we are at 13 seconds, f11, grade 1 filter. 13 seconds. See if I can get this thing to focus. Grade 1. Yeah, grade 1. And f11. And that'll be it for this episode of Laundry Darkroom Prints. Hopefully next week I'll be able to get quite a bit more done, but this particular set of negatives, there's a few more negatives on this roll that I need to get printed out, and they're all going to be pretty much the same. You know, a grade 1, it's foam with pan 400, and like I said, I think I souped it in ID, not ID 11, in Xtol, if I remember correctly. These are fairly early, a few years ago now at this point, but yeah. Should be interesting. All right. See all of you on the next episode.